Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we're going to talk about Pandora's pull or skip. So as usual, we'll discuss about Pandora's skill description, skill summary, and then discuss about her usage across different game modes, and last but not least, giving our opinions whether or not you should pull or skip for her. So starting off with her skill summary, Pandora is both a semi-DPS as well as a support for the team. So the support side of things comes from the second and third skill, as the Box Blessing ability protects one rearmost ally at the start of battle, making them invincible when they're inside the box for 4 seconds, and when they come out, they get 1000 energy together with an attack buff, making any ultimate-centric carries insanely powerful, or just allowing impactful ultimates such as Twins ultimate to start up more quickly. So this skill is pretty versatile and in most cases really powerful across different game modes. And then third skill, Tainted Tribute. This skill further complements the second skill because each time she casts her skill, the box ally, the one that was protected by Box Blessing at the start of battle, will get additional HP and energy regen, which allows them to cycle through their stuff and survive better, and at the same time applies Corruption, which is a permanent debuff onto one random enemy. So this damage increase debuff on one enemy, in most cases really helpful for Dream Realm because there's only one enemy for Dream Realm in most cases. So this ability is technically a really good debuff in embossing contents, and the active part of the skill allows Pandora to inflict a random number of unique debuffs on an enemy over the next 10 seconds, prioritizing enemies not already affected by this skill. So this skill, in a 1v1 setting, in a Dream Realm bossing setting, you're gonna debuff the boss whenever she uses this skill and then allow you to get that additional HP and energy regen onto the ally and make her a really good support debuffer type of character. So she's like a debuffer, she's a buffer, and she's also a energy cycling unit, which gives you that additional energy regen and also a healer as well. Very versatile right here. So in a multi-unit setting, this skill has a little bit of RNG because it only falls on one enemy and it doesn't hit or focus or is debuff on one core enemy that you might want to target. So it might not be as efficient, but still it's a pretty powerful debuffing ability as a whole. So that's for Tainted Tribute. And then the DPS portion of her skill as well as the control portion of the skill comes in the form of the ultimate Panic Projection, which allows her to unleash a massive AoE skill which deals a whole bunch of damage, as well as control the enemy with Frighten and also reduce their attack even further. So this skill is also a double-edged sword because this skill hits both your ally as well as the enemies, which means that the Frighten will also affect your ally. So for this to actually be much more efficient, you need some sort of immunity on your own team, or you need to use your Supreme Plus skill, right, to actually protect the ally with the Pandora box buff. And the ally with the Pandora box buff will be immune to Panic Projection's negative debuff, which means that there is still going to be some drawback, but the drawback is reduced greatly, right? In the case if you're just hyper buffing one carry for the battle itself. So that's for Pandora's ultimate together with the Supreme Plus skill. Her EX weapon, Eternal Legacy, allows her to still contribute to battle even if she falls in battle, because she'll transform into a box and then gain energy per second and still cast Panic Projection in the box state even if she's not on the battlefield, making her a really good PvP character for long-term draw out store battle with this ability right here. So as you guys can see, Pandora pretty versatile in terms of what she can do, can be used in many different situations depending on what you need her to do. For the PvE side, I think Pandora as a unit is pretty decent for the AFK stage pushing contents because she does a lot of damage. She has control, she's able to buff up a hyper carry, so this makes her good with the likes of Tasi as well as Shamira, which are all really good for AFK stage pushing, and also just being really good for control teams in general, making her decently versatile. She might not be the most used character, but she's a decently flexible character to be used in AFK stages because of the multitude of roles she's able to fulfill based on what unit. So this unit has a lot of longevity for this game mode with whatever she's able to offer just off the base kit itself. Moving to the Dream Realm side of things, Pandora is used on a meta level for Crystal Beetle as well as the likes of Thalassa, together with Sigmund, right, with Shamira, and also to a certain extent Chris Shelbrooke depending on your team setup and also the units you run. So this character is pretty versatile in terms of the Dream Realm side because of her debuff ability as well as the energy recharge ability. So in most of these lineups, one thing that we have in common is you will be running Pandora together with Twins, because in most cases the target that will be buffed up by Pandora's Pandora box will be one of the Twins, and what you get by doing this is the hyper acceleration for the Twins ultimate to get the immunity as well as the massive haste buff from the ultimate. So this showcases Pandora's flexibility because not only can you protect the ally with the Pandora box, you can also accelerate other units with insanely useful ultimates with their ability as well. So that's for the Dream Realm side, pretty good as both a debuffer, buffer as well as damage dealer right here. For the normal PvP side, I believe we have discussed about this multiple times, but Pandora is insanely good for PvP because she's able to stay on the battlefield and then provide the control and damage even after she's dead. And she also has insane synergies with some of the best PvP units in the meta, like Chimera, like the likes of Krynaya, like the likes of Tasi, which means that she will be able to find a slot in most teams for you to run her in the PvP side. Another really good factor for Pandora in the normal arena setting is the existence of Confining Spell, which applies a confining ability 2 seconds into battle. Pandora's Pandora box allows you to negate that on your ally because she keeps that in the box, and by the time the ally comes out, the confining ability is no longer in place, making her a pretty anti-confining spell unit as well. Because of these reasons, together with all the different team synergies she's able to go with, such as Chimera and Tasi like I mentioned earlier. So generally speaking, in the normal arena setting, pretty meta, pretty free to play friendly because you can also just run her at 1 copy as long as you're able to keep her alive to just hyper buff 1 carry to get their ultimate through. So this was showcased before and it's definitely a very PvP feasible character. Moving forward, I think as more and more ultimate centric hyper carries get released, Pandora's value as the hyper carry buffer will become more and more valuable over time, and that is one factor which I think should not be neglected, because as long as there's a unit that wants their ultimate charge up as soon as possible, Pandora can combo with that unit. So definitely a really good unit in the long run for all the different combos that will come in the future as well. In conclusion, despite having some drawbacks in terms of the ultimate, Pandora's a must-have. Like, she's highly recommended because she's strong, she's versatile, she's very future-proof, because the more powerful carries or the more powerful ultimate-centric units get released, the more you want to charge their ultimate up as soon as possible with her ability. And being a limited time character means that she's quite rare and she's not going to come back like your usual characters in the banner itself, right? So what you want to do is try to bump her tiers up as much as possible, because this unit, not only being really strong at the Supreme Plus tier, is also usable at the lower tiers because her second and third skill are not so stats reliant. So you can start to use her even at just 1 copy and then build her up along the way, try to get as many copies as possible and then use her across different game modes as you slowly build her up. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know your experience with Pandora so far, what you feel about this unit and your own opinions if you have any, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.